Almost 4 months. That is how long it took for investigators to identify the remains of a 15-year-old Fort Morgan teen who vanished in early July.
And tonight, a 16-year-old suspect is behind bars for murder. And while authorities say he will be charged as an adult, they haven't released his identity. Denver 7's Amy Wattis talked with the victim's uncle. Left with so many questions, Amy, as he mourns his nephew.
Yeah, definitely a lot of questions. The victim's uncle told me he doesn't understand why the investigation took nearly 4 months before investigators could identify his nephew's remains. Plus, he wants to know why his nephew was killed.
Not scared of anything.
Fearless is how Brandon Henderson described his 15-year-old nephew, Alex Henderson. But that bravery didn't save Alex's life. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office says Alex was last seen at his home on Morgan County Road, known as Lover's Lane, in early July. 2 days later, his remains were found, but his remains weren't identified until Monday. An autopsy revealed that Alex died from a single gunshot wound, and the manner of death was determined to be homicide.
I'm really also wondering why it took 4 months for them to find out that Alex died from a gunshot wound. That wasn't even mentioned before from when we talked to the coroner.
Brandon says he reconnected with his nephew around this time last year when he traveled to Fort Morgan from his home in North Carolina. They grew close during that time and kept in touch up until Alex's death.
First month or so, I wasn't doing well. I was trying to figure out what was going on. We never really even got, there still hasn't been a funeral or anything.
On top of all of that, Brandon says he's trying to process the fact that a 16-year-old boy is charged with his nephew's murder.
I feel like this kid got robbed of his life, and I got robbed of really ever building a relationship with my nephew. And where did this kid get a gun? And why would he shoot Alex?
The 16-year-old is being held at a juvenile detention center with a $1 million cash or surety bond. The sheriff's office told Denver 7 Morgan County District Court issued a gag order in this case, so more information can't be released. Live in the newsroom, Amy Wattis, Denver 7.